How many have seen the cover of my book? You know the cover of my book? Cynthia did that cover. I had a whole other cover, and she threw it away and made this cover. Because she said, what are you trying to say? And what I was pointing out, as Emerson said, as others have talked about, it's the idea of do what? Follow the path. What? Less traveled. Go where there are no footprints and leave them behind you. Give yourself the possibility. You know, I've shared with you, and she's a member of our congregation, and she walked up to Dr. Carroll a number of years ago and said, I'd like to go back and get my master's degree, but I would be 50 years old by the time I got it. And Carroll said, well, how old would you be if you didn't get it? Okay, why not go ahead and get it? How many have something you want to do and accomplish and be, but you've been putting it off and you have all kinds of reasons to put it off? How many are ready to stop putting it off this morning and make your first step in that direction and stop talking about I'm going to do it to I am it in action? Everyone say, I am success in action. Joy in action. Now the lesson here is clear. The superior design that you want to have as your life experience is the superior design that the great teachers have talked about. A lot of people will not let themselves be different because their friends will think they're peculiar. Okay. Everyone say, if I'm going to be a religious scientist, the world is going to think I am peculiar. Okay. Now you don't want to be peculiar in a nincompoopy way. You want to be peculiar in a what? In a healthy-minded way, as William James so beautifully said. We're exploring William James in Science of Mind 400, and James is absolutely wonderful. I recommend to all of you, if you do not have it, how many have explored varieties of religious experience? Do it. What do we call in varieties of religious experience? The healthy-minded. Not the fanatics, not the ones who want to kill in the name of their God, not the ones who want to worship a personality, but the ones who do what? Embody the great lessons of the age, figure out the golden thread that binds them all together, and figure out how to apply it, because they agreed with Emerson that your religion is what you're doing with yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not where you spend an hour on Sunday. Look at somebody's life. That's their religion. I don't care what they call themselves. And as we've talked about here recently, the idea that we can let go and let something beautiful happen by means of consciousness, by way of love and happiness, we can change our mind and change our world. What we're doing at that point is we are operating from an awareness that, as we teach in religious science very clearly, that you can, if you so choose, erase the barrier between you and your experience, because that's what's wrong with most people's lives, that they think their experience is something other than what they are. Everyone say, I erase the barrier between me and my experience. See? I'm not trying to discover the universe. I am the universe. Say that. I am the universe. All of its power is going to back up my next idea. Now, if you know that and you really believe it, should you not pay attention to your next idea? This is what spiritual mind treatment's all about. This is why Dr. Holmes said yesterday's treatment, spiritual mind treatment, is not good enough for today. He was pointing out maybe between yesterday's treatment and today, I got hypnotized by something outside of me, and I'm starting to think like it, and maybe I need to wake myself up out of that and think from the higher definition and move forward from a higher truth, a healthier truth, a happier truth. Maybe I need to do this and do this, awaken myself to my spiritual magnificence every day. Every day. Every day. How many of you are familiar with Aladdin and his wonderful lamp? How many know that you have that? Dr. William Hornaday, my first teacher, wrote a wonderful book called Your Aladdin's Lamp. It's his walk with Dr. Ernest Holmes. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. In Aladdin's story, he did have a lamp. It was a wonderful lamp. There was a marvelous genie in the lamp, Robin Williams. And so he had the lamp, and the lamp would do anything that he asked it to do, but he was required to do some things before the lamp would respond to it, was he not? Okay, he didn't just say, I want this or I want that. What did he have to do? He had to rub the lamp, okay, and he had to follow some instructions. Now, he took the necessary steps to do this, and he put all these steps in order, and when he put them all in order, he found himself in custody of something that would accomplish anything he let it accomplish if he cooperated with the law of the lamp. And the same thing is true of you and me. If we have the ability, and we do, to intelligently begin to approach religion from an intelligent perspective and understand that if we do what? Direct ourselves in the right way, the universe cannot say no to us and will produce the equivalent of what we're thinking. We're in our wonderful, great, I love teaching Troard. I'm having such a great experience, so is our class, in exploring Thomas Troard. And it was great. Somebody called me this morning and said, boy, this Troard stuff is incredible. And I said, yeah. But the beautiful thing is about it is Troard does what? Troard mathematically proves what we teach. He's taking all of the essence of physics and he's applying it to metaphysics. And he says, look, this is what the greatest teachers who ever lived have taught. This isn't new. And this is a way to understand it and explain it. It's done unto you as you believe, and this is why. Not just knowing about it, but knowing about it and doing something with it. Okay. Emerson said, he who writes a poem no one reads is not a poet. Okay. He who writes a song no one hears is not a songwriter. Okay. How many have had a great idea and then you just sit around till it becomes history? Okay. And then somebody else follows through with it, and then you run around spending all your time saying, I had that idea once. How many know people who say, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do that, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do that? That's great. If you know them long enough, one day they'll say, you know what? I almost did that once. Everyone say, I do it now. I let go and let myself be it now. Now, how do you do this? You use attributes you already possess. Everyone say, attributes. I already possess. Now come forth without me in the way. Now, what happens when you do that? So you're getting, as Emerson said, you're bloated, nothing is out of the way of the divine circuits. You are allowing yourself to explore your talent, your ability, your mental possessions. To the young people here this morning, contemplate a greater experience in life. Understand that your education right now, when you go to school, you're doing what? You're investing in what? Yourself. So the world becomes a better place. How? By means of you. By means of you. Why do you think we have classes here? Dr. Holmes said there's a lot of people who do what we teach in religious science naturally for those of us who want to do it, and we don't know how we can learn. This is why we have classes. Dr. Fenwick Holmes told me once, the best thing about being a religious science minister is you get to take the class every year. Every year you get to take the class. Dear people, I have been studying this 48 years. And it's as new now as it was when I first discovered it. I'm as excited about what I'm learning. I have gone through Thomas Troard since 1965. And here I am teaching it again, and I'm sitting there going, whoa, look at this. It's waking me up to a new idea. Why? Because I am now at another level, and it's reminding me that I can glimpse even a higher level of understanding. Everyone say, no matter how much I know there's that much more to know. I now free myself into greater good. Dr. Holmes says on page 276 of the Science of Mind textbook, the law is absolute and we should trust its impersonal action implicitly. Everyone say, love inspires, but law requires. It requires what? It requires your commitment to it. It requires your love involved in it. And as it says in Proverbs 23:7, If you want to know if we're some kind of new religion or new teaching, everyone say Proverbs 23:7. And here's what it says. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. What are you thinking in your heart this morning? Let it be love. Let it be success. Let it be infinite possibility. Let it be beautiful. And it's easy to do because you are. Everyone say it's a wonderful thing to be me. Full of wonder. Full of light. Full of wonderful ideas. Applied. Love inspires. The law requires. I honor this awareness and let it be my way. Namaste. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you, everybody.